Tonight, evening goes to the dogs and bears and elk. It's a special edition featuring amazing animals across the Northwest. See the videos that made these furry friends social media sensations. Visit the Shelton Sanctuary, that's a howl.
When one howls, they all start howling.
Plus, a farm that's all about compassion and cows.
Hey, I'm Jim Dever. Welcome to Northwest Trek and a special show all about some of the amazing animals that our region has to offer. Let's start right here with a whole new way to see wildlife up close. Climb aboard for a rendezvous with the wild.
An eye-level view with the animals.
Northwest Trek Deputy Director Rick Dietz says the park's trams are an electrifying way to get close to nature.
So because they're all electric, they're much more quiet than our previous trams.
The trams leave from a newly designed eco-friendly station on a tour that takes about 40 minutes to cover the park's 435 acres.
They have lots of room to roam and great opportunities for our guests to spot them in the forest.
Guests can encounter bison, mountain goats, and bighorn sheep along the way.
When the guide gets to a group of animals, they'll slow down to provide a great opportunity for our guests to see the animals. And there's even a glass panoramic roof so that you can look up into the forest canopy. And so it's a much more immersive experience for our guests.
Quiet and clean, this new electric ride makes humans and nature very happy.
Provides clean air for our guests and for our animals and just fits right in with our mission. And we're really excited about that.
Well, the same to you. Thank you. Northwest Trek is located in Eatonville. It is open year-round, and what an adventure to ride through the wildlife up close like that. And we have another close encounter coming to you from north of the border up in British Columbia, but this time it's grizzly bears. And it's Jose Cedeno.
I am in British Columbia, Canada, to see grizzly bears in the wild.
It's a really magical place.
And this tour is unlike any other because it's owned and led by the Omalco, indigenous people who share the land with grizzly bears for generations. The adventure starts at sunrise at the marina in Campbell River.
First off, you're gonna load one of our boats, and then you're gonna take a beautiful 2-hour boat ride. The water, when you're heading up the inlet, it turns bluer and bluer the farther you go up. It's just like this beautiful turquoise blue. The mountains are as high, and the water is literally as deep as those mountains. It's the grandest fjord in BC.
We just finished a boat ride that was about 2 hours, and now we're gonna take a bus ride.
So what I said was, hello to you all. My name is Cheyenne. I come from Oak, which is Church House, and I'm a Homalco First Nation band member.
You're also getting that indigenous component woven into what you're experiencing, learning about area names, perhaps listening to some stories along the way.
And again, the welcome sign. Imut Kwinanape Pipkinet.
Yeah, we take a lot of pride in that, and it's also a way back to our roots. Learning about our culture and being able to share it, it's kind of a win-win situation.
Something that I need to know for this tour, like a word.
Haugus.
Haugus.
Grizzly bear.
The Haugus are here for the salmon. We see plenty of fish, but no bear.
Waiting game now.
Then it happens. A hungry grizzly bear comes down to the river for lunch. He's the first. Guys Cheyenne and James help us find many more.
I love meeting new people every single day, and I love seeing the bears. It changes every day with the bears.
We are in the bear's home now, and this bear doesn't care. He's just focused on the fish. I have never been this close to our grizzly, and it's something I will never forget.
Now that is up close, but Jose says he felt perfectly safe. The Homalco tribe has been leading those tours for more than 20 years. Well, now let's head on out to sea. And a tiny terrier that's helping to save the orca whale population. by using its nose. Iba is a trained scent detection dog. She aids the nonprofit Wild Orca with their conservation research, monitoring the health of the 75 remaining southern resident killer whales. Iba is able to pick up the scent of their scat. In layman's terms, she's trained to locate orca poop.
Dinner plate size down to literally the size of your pinky nail, as she can still find it. They get shipped to our lab at the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance, where they analyze those for stress hormones, nutrition hormones, pregnancy hormones. So many things can be analyzed by just looking at one scat sample.
Iba's skill has turned her into a canine celebrity. She's been featured in programs on the Disney Channel, PBS, and the BBC. And while Iba has found fame on TV, there are a handful of local critters who have made it big in social media. Here's Saint.
While many pet owners talk to their fur babies, it's usually a one-sided conversation. That doesn't seem to be the case with Bunny. With the touch of a button, this Tacoma sheepadoodle can ask to play with a friend, go outside, or get her ear scratched.
Okay.
Bunny's communication skills have caught the attention of millions of followers online, as well as scientists. She's now part of a study.
If people are taking away from this that they want to have a deeper connection with their dog, I think that's amazing.
Portland's owl kitty, real name Lizzie, is a huge star. With the help of toys, treats, and a green screen, she's appeared in some of the greatest movies ever made.
Jurassic Park, that was the first one.
Her longtime collaborators are humans Thibaut Chiropa and Olivia Boone. Thibaut is a full-time video editor, so he knows all the tricks for inserting Lizzie into some of our favorite film and television scenes.
I was just goofing off and making silly videos and sent one to Olivia, and she was like, we need to share this online with the world right now.
And the world loves everything about Owl Kitty. Her work has been viewed more than 50 million times on social media. Seattle Humane's TikTok videos have racked up millions of views as well, helping dozens of dogs and cats get adopted.
Stinky baby.
The man behind the camera is Brandon Max, PR professional turned social media producer. He creates content, hoping to find these animals their forever homes.
And you can look this way. I try to keep it light for them. Obviously, they are not Hollywood dogs and cats, you know. They haven't been trained. They've come from at-risk shelters from across the country where they were facing euthanasia, you know. This is the second chance to find a family. I just really want them to have fun, you know, and try to capture their personality in a way that's a little bit more unique.
I think I'll go home now.
You did it. You did it. Thank you, Saint. If you'd like any more information about any of those animals, we have all the links up on our website, king5evening.com.
Coming up, meet Bruiser the elk, Whidbey Island's biggest and loneliest resident. And the Shelton Sanctuary Saving Wolf Dogs, when evening's Amazing Animals special returns. Local stories make a difference. With the power to enrich lives, strengthen communities, and make us smile. Evening is made possible by Primera Blue Cross. Primera Blue Cross, always in your corner.
Welcome back to our Amazing Animals special from Northwest Trek, where we just met a couple of friends, new friends. They are sisters, Poppy and Lavender. Ah, the life of a badger. Pretty great, isn't it? You know, a lot of people head to the islands to get away from it all, but I met a guy on Whidbey Island who went there for some peace and quiet and ended up becoming very, very famous. Whidbey Island's most famous resident is also its loneliest.
You know, I'd be lonely if I had to spend that much time, you know, by myself.
Meet Bruiser.
Bruiser the elk.
The island's only elk.
This is a unique situation.
He appears to have migrated to the island from Skagit County more than a decade ago.
This is the area where he landed. My guess is he somehow ended up down on the tidelands and ended up swimming across Skagit Bay.
It's quite feasible that he could have swum anywhere along here.
Turns out elk are pretty good swimmers.
It's actually a lot more common than most people think.
Ralph Downs of the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife was one of the first people to greet the antlered adventurer.
And I got a call from actually a friend of mine that said, hey, you won't believe it, there's an elk in my backyard. Real surprised that he was here, and even more surprised that he didn't leave pretty quickly.
It's rare for a lone elk to stay in one place for so long. Kind of makes him a local celebrity.
He comes to people's attention relatively often around here.
He can get a little aggressive during the rutting season.
He seems to get into mischief a lot.
Tarps, blankets, bicycles, yard art.
He had to be sedated to remove this buoy, and he's even attacked a car or two.
I encourage people to leave him alone all the time, but especially during that window, just because he's a little feistier.
His hormones are raging during that time of year.
Alas, his bugle calls go unanswered.
I'd imagine in this situation where he's not hearing much response, he just gets even more riled up.
Residents are thrilled to spot their local celebrity.
It's really nice to see an animal of that size on the island.
But the big old guy takes his fame in stride.
And he's in a really good spot.
On hoof and aloof, Bruiser seems happy to live out the rest of his years as Whidbey's one and only.
There's a lot of retirees on the island, and I think he's one of them.
An elk on a mission.
He's found a space where he's really safe and really comfortable.
To be left alone.
He's happy.
All right, well, Bruiser has already lived well beyond the life expectancy of a wild elk, and that's probably because he doesn't have other wild bulls that he has to defend his territory against. No fighting at all. In Shelton, they are rescuing some animals that are both beautiful and controversial. Saint takes us to a sanctuary with a very distinctive welcome.
There's a new sound filling this forest near Shelton.
It's quite beautiful. It is a beautiful sound. When one howls, they all start howling.
But the animals singing are not wolves.
Rome Wolf Dog Sanctuary is an educational facility for wolves and wolf dogs. We also provide sanctuary to 10 wolf dogs here on site. Here.
Jody Woolard and her husband Troy opened this nonprofit sanctuary to save animals that aren't quite wild and aren't quite pets.
A wolf dog is purposely bred by specialized breeders, and they are generations of breeding wolf dogs to wolf dogs. And the goal of that is to produce an animal that is very much like their wild counterparts, almost indistinguishable, but at the same time trying to acquire that dog temperament.
Some zoos use wolf dogs as ambassador animals. You've probably seen them on screen.
They are used in film work like Game of Thrones.
They're also illegal as pets in 12 states and some Washington counties, for good reason.
Some people don't have an understanding of what it takes to own them. They require 8-foot fencing. They require dig guards. They're highly intelligent animals.
Shelters often euthanize wolf dogs if no sanctuary can be found for them. Jody owned a dog boarding facility for 18 years and rescued her first wolf dog in 2020. Lakota had a broken leg that had to be amputated and intestinal parasites from neglect.
He didn't survive.
But Lakota inspired Jody and her husband Troy Johnson to rescue more, opening Rome in 2024.
We felt these animals, they deserve a better home.
Now Rig, Lumi, Isabella, and the rest of this pack live in a 40-acre forest. Each pen has an acre of room to roam.
We want it to look as much like their natural environment as we can give them.
Also, Rome does not breed wolf dogs. Every animal here is spayed or neutered.
It is a lot of work, but we love it.
This group of siblings came all the way from Buffalo, New York for a tour.
It seems like they live a really good life here. I'm a little jealous being cooped up in the city of the world that they get to inhabit.
Wait, that's so cute. How do I look?
There's even a gift shop and a resident husky who's got zero wolf in him and enjoys scritches. But the highlight of each tour is always this.
To hear them howl, it kind of lit up that child heart inside of me. I felt like I was a little kid watching National Geographic. It's just incredible.
A sound connecting everyone who hears it to something
wild.
We're hoping to create a lasting memory for people to have a greater understanding of what they are. That was good.
Thank you, Saint. Rome is open for tours by appointment. Those take about an hour and a half. Okay, from rescuing wolf dogs to dogs rescuing humans. You won't just find skiers and snowboarders on Crystal Mountain in the winter. There's also a pack of hard-working dogs hitting the slopes. These heroic pups are part of the avalanche rescue team. Their job is to save people who've been trapped in snow. Their training begins when they're 8 weeks old and can take up to 4 years to be fully certified.
Up next, find out what's happening at a Seattle park that inspires this.
Quack, 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 quack. Not bad, Mike. Not bad.
Welcome back to Northwest Trek, where we're hanging out with our 6-year-old grizzly buddies, Huckleberry and Hawthorne. You know, there's a place within Seattle city limits where you can see blue herons nesting. No kidding. In fact, our photojournalist Diane Lewis-Torrey tells you exactly where.
We're at Commodore Park in northern Magnolia, right by the Ballard Locks.
Blue herons.
It's kind of a busy time of year. This is a major nesting area. Interesting to watch. You don't think it's here, but then you look up all of a sudden and then voila, there it is. It's gonna be a loud summer. It often sounds like something out of like Jurassic Park because it's a bunch of pterodactyl noise.
They sure do make a racket. Quack, 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 quack. Not bad, Mike.
Not bad.
You better keep your eyes open. There might be one looking out for you.
Yeah.
The herons will be defending their nests from predators. Babies clamoring for food.
Graceful, they're magnificent, and fraternal. They really take care of their young.
They're unusual birds. Large bodies, long skinny legs. Certainly not what you see every day in your backyard. Oh, there's one that's just flying in.
Yep.
It's kind of nice to know that things like this are still here. The Seattle I grew up in has changed and grown a lot.
Boy, look at those two guys.
Just such an amazing experience to have in the city. It's just a special opportunity to see nature at its best. It's just reassuring. Hidden away, so few people know about it. It's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing. Commodore Park is open every day from 4 a.m. to 11:30 p.m.
Coming up, it's a cow's life at this Washington farm.
Welcome back to Evening from Northwest Trek. You know, up in Redmond, there is a farm that is all about compassion and cows. Some of Harry Turhanian's best friends are cows.
Got these big ears.
The entrepreneur and philanthropist is the founder of the Goloka Cow Shelter in Redmond and Arlington.
We always treat them with love and devotion.
The farms are supported by Northwest Share, a nonprofit that lives its message of peace and respect for all living things, rooted in the Vedic culture of South Asia.
Care, kindness, gentle nature.
When you protect the cow, it brings prosperity and peace.
On this farm, the cows are relaxed and friendly.
They're very docile.
They appreciate love and affection.
Families are welcome to visit.
So people can easily come, bring their kids, and associate with the cows.
Some of the residents are rescue animals.
And they also learn to trust humans even after they are being abused.
None of these cows will ever be harmed.
Cow symbolizes motherhood.
Their milk is considered a sacred gift.
That's a miracle.
All of them given a safe place to call home.
If you protect the cow, It brings prosperity, happiness, and peace in your life.
That really is a special place, and Goloka Farm is open for tours. For more information about that or anything else you saw on today's show, you can just check out king5evening.com. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.